All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to Hump Day Hangouts episode 205. Today is the 10th of October, 2018, and we have got the whole gang here as well as our special guest who I will get to in just a moment. But real quick, we're going to take a minute, say hi to everybody, get through some quick announcements, and then we will dive right into it. So actually, I'm starting to realize, and it only took me 204 episodes to realize that I think you guys are lined up the same time every single time on my screen, which is interesting. So there we go. It only took almost 4 years. So Chris, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Excited to be spot number one here all the time. Love it.
Awesome.
How you doing?
Can't complain. You know, this is like one of those shower thoughts. You know, it's just this revelation that means absolutely nothing, and I feel stupider for having realized it. But yeah, it's good to know. Hernan, how you doing, man?
Good. I'm excited to be after Chris all the time, and yeah, I'm really excited for what's coming. Really excited to have our guest today, and also for POFU Live 2018. It's gonna be amazing too. So.
Good deal. Well, I'm not trying to skip her on purpose, but I'm not sure if you guys can see her. We have Lisa Allen as our special guest, and we're going to circle back around to her in just a minute and introduce her a little bit more properly. So, Marco, how are you doing, man?
What's up, man? It's great to see our Lisa Allen here. She's a good friend of Semantic Mastery. We've had her on before. She does some awesome automation. I'm not going to take your spotlight, Lisa. You can go ahead and toot your own horn, but it's really good to have you here again, joining us. It's always fun to have you on, talking about what you've been up to. So thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Awesome.
Good deal. Last but not least, Bradley, how you doing, man?
Okay, so I think I just figured out why they're always lined up the way they are. And I think it's by alphabetical order by the name in the profile. So it's Adam, Chris, Hernan, Lisa, Marco, and then for me, it says you, Y-O-U. So I think it's always alphabetical, and that's
on my screen. Your Semantic Mastery. This is a train wreck. Thanks everybody for watching. This is like the worst Scooby-Doo episode.
So, anyways, I'm glad to be here. Glad that Lisa is here. We've got an exciting week ahead of us because POFU Live is next weekend. And we're really looking forward to that. I'm actually preparing for that now, that's what I've been doing all day. So, POFU Live members, I'm really excited about it. And excited to have Lisa here. It's been a long time since we had her here, so it's good to catch up with her again. She's always got a lot of great insight about the SEO industry and marketing in general. So just happy to be here, man.
Cool. Well, we got a couple quick announcements. Like Bradley just mentioned, POFU Live next weekend. If you can make it, we still do. I think there's 2 or 3 tickets still available. So I'll pop the links on there in a little bit after we get done talking here. But you can still grab those. Kind of the last chance to do that before we got to shut things down, lock in the numbers and all that good stuff. Also, if you're watching us for the first time, thank you. We've obviously been here. We didn't make up the number. We've been here for 205 episodes. We hope we're here for another 205. And thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. If you ask questions live, that's great. If you're watching the replay, that's fine too. You know, check us out on YouTube or wherever you're watching us, and feel free to ask questions. You can join us live at semanticmastery.com/HD questions every week.
And by the way,
make
sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, which would be right here. So yeah, so subscribe. Also, if you're looking for the place to start with us, the battle plan, I'm going to pop the links on the page for you. This is good for anyone starting, anyone who wants a repeatable process, who's been in the game for a while. It covers a lot of really good aspects of SEO, digital marketing, things from keyword research, working with a new domain, age domains, all that stuff. And then if you're ready to take it up a few notches, of course, we do have our mastermind. And we invite you to also check out that and see if that's the right fit for you. One last thing before we get started. I believe, Marco, that the MGYB store has had some updates, right?
Yes, sir.
What do we got going on?
We got Quora. We've got Syndication Academy up and running. And since we've been talking so much about local lease pro press releases.
Yeah, which by the way, I was waiting. There's still 2 lessons missing out of local lease pro. One is for citations and one is for press releases. And part of the reason those lessons weren't there was I was waiting for our order page to be done on MGYB for me to be able to demonstrate how to order press releases through that, guys. The citation stuff, honestly, I've just been really slammed this week. I haven't got the lesson done, but I'm hoping as soon as I get done with Hump Day Hangouts today to record a quick lesson on that. It's very simple. So hopefully I'll have that up within about 10 or 15 minutes after Hump Day Hangouts today, guys. So any of you that were inquiring about that missing lesson, it will be there shortly. Trust me, it'll be worth the wait.
Good deal. Any last minute announcements, you guys, before we dive into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Cool. Well, like we said, Lisa Allen is here with us, and we appreciate, Lisa, you coming on and hanging out with us. We've, again, for people who haven't seen us over the, maybe for the, about a year, I guess, was the last time we talked to you. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
anyways, we talked to Lisa about a year ago. So instead of, telling everyone about you, if you don't mind just kind of getting everyone up to speed where you came from and what you kind of do online, I think that'd be the best way for people to kind of find out about you.
Well, I'm one of those people who always kind of has to have my hands in everything. I see something that looks interesting and I kind of go that direction, and it's just kind of how I got into online marketing. It's how I got into the internet. It's just I see something interesting and I think I could do that. So I go off and I, kind of explore what's going on. I really got into the internet first after a divorce a few, probably like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Gosh, I'm dating myself.
Just a couple of years ago. It's all right. I've started saying the same things.
So anyway, I mean, I started hanging out. You guys remember when AOL was king and there were like all these little local systems, local bulletin board systems. So I started hanging out on one of those after I got divorced.
Until last year?
Well, no, I mean, it's been quite a while, but so anyway, that's kind of where I really hit the internet really hard, was after that, and got into working for a company doing webmastering for a while, and that kind of flung me off into doing coding, and and then I've had an online store, a couple of different online stores, and so I was kind of using my coding along with some of my organizational skills to do that. And then, of course, I ran afoul of Google, and who hasn't done that at least a couple of times. So they kicked me off their ad platform, and so I had to figure out this whole SEO thing. And
so what was the time frame on that? When did you start getting into SEO stuff?
I would say that was about 2011, 2012, really, because I was running the store for about 5 years before that, and like I said, I got kicked off. They decided they didn't like a product that I was selling, and they booted me off on, like, all my stores got booted off. So,
Lisa, you said 2011 or 12-ish, which is crazy because I remember specifically buying a product that you launched with Peter Garrity's help about.
Yeah.
And it used IFTTT, and it was for triggering syndications through Google Calendar using IFTTT, and it would re-syndicate because you could set calendar events in the future that would cause it to re-syndicate the video again out to the networks. It was amazing training. It was right after I had learned about IFTTT from David Cossack or whatever, and it was amazing training. I'll never forget that. And that was around 2011, 2012, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think that was probably 2012 or maybe early 2013, because I had launched something else with Peter about Pinterest. It was how to get traffic using Pinterest, which was my first really product.
Did I say Peter Drew or Peter Garrity? It was Peter Garrity, right?
It was Peter Garrity, yeah.
Peter Garrity, right.
Worked for a while.
Yep.
So yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. I think that may have actually been an add-on to that product, like an extra bonus training. But that's funny. What? That's the thing to remember about that training is the bonus and not the original training.
I was just looking around. What's Peter Garrity up to? This is a total tangent, but that just, I haven't, he was coming out with stuff like that.
Yeah. I think he decided that he wanted to spend a little bit more time with his family. And so he, as far as I know, he built himself his own little shopping cart platform, kind of like Shopify. And so he runs that, and, he gets recurring from that. So you see him pop up every once in a while in the JVZoo groups and stuff like that, just to say things, but he's not really promoting really hard anymore.
Yeah, I think before he went off the grid, he was doing a lot of heavy e-com promoting, like promoting e-com products and stuff. So I'm assuming that that's what he went into.
Yeah,
that's right. Dash next. Okay. Yeah, I was looking this up while we were talking. Okay, cool. Okay, so sorry about that. Just totally went off the rails there. So, okay, we're up to like 2011, 2012. You start getting into the SEO side of things, and how did it go from there?
Well, you know, I was SEOing things so that I could get traffic for the online store that I had. I was selling jewelry parts, and the stuff that I learned while I was trying to rank for things got turned around into products. And so we did curation traffic blueprint, where I was teaching people how to curate content and get traffic from that, because it's so much easier than writing original content. You can do it, you know, just, you know, snap, snap, snap. And so we did that, and then I started doing some keyword tools, and it just sort of, I think before we got to the keyword tool, the RSS authority sniper strategy that we do, that was something that we had started doing manually. My sister was acting as one of my VAs, and it took a long time to do that manually. I mean, it was really effective, but it took 15, 20 minutes, sometimes an hour to do that, to look up all the different feeds and then go and do all the, you know, copy paste, put it here, put it there, all that kind of stuff. And she started complaining about that. She was really like, no,
that's a very real pain point when your sister is complaining to you.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, ooh, okay, I better go code something. And so that was where RSS Authority Sniper came from.
Which, by the way, that was a great product. I mean, you still have, I was going to say, you still have rankfeeder going right now, correct?
Yeah, I do. And I'm actually just been rewriting the whole feed generation so that I can add more features in. And I've got something really neat coming out in the next month or so with rankfeeder, and then a re-release of RSS Authority Sniper to go with it. And it's going to be going to let you target local places very, very specifically.
Oh man, now you're speaking our language, Lisa. Yeah. Like, honestly, guys, we promoted Lisa's rankfeeder before because it's the co-citation tool using RSS feeds. It's amazing. It's super, super powerful. It's very, very effective. And I stand by that statement. And so anything that you're going to be doing that's going to address local specifically, Lisa, certainly reach out to us. We will get behind that in a heartbeat, because of most of our about 60% of our audience is local. So I
think you're going to like it, because like I said, we're going to, and some of the stuff that I've already added in after I finished rewriting the feed generator is I've added the categories that you get to pick into, so that they're actually inside the feed, and all the tags also get treated as categories inside your feed. So I mean, you're getting a lot more power to really target with the feed, you know, on an SEO basis, you know, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I think you're really going to like what comes after that.
Very cool.
That's awesome. Well, I wanted to make sure we have enough time to cover this. So the next question I had, and I love asking this to people, is, you know, where do you see, in terms of, I'll leave this really broad, not just SEO, but where do you see either SEO or kind of online digital marketing going in the next couple years? And then a side question of that, or somewhere else you can go with this, is what's the most important things you see happening?
Well, you know, this is a really interesting time for online things. You're seeing a lot of movement to different places, and you're seeing a lot of things happening that people don't necessarily like. You're seeing a lot of censorship. You're seeing a lot of, you know, kind of misrepresenting what people are saying and that kind of thing. And you're seeing Silicon Valley really go and start trying to basically meddle in society. You know, that they want to be the you know, it's like the government isn't Big Brother anymore, but they want to be. And so I think you're going to see, and I'm already kind of seeing movement places outside of Google's control and outside of Facebook's control. So I think as marketers and SEOs, we really need to be monitoring those additional places that are coming into the marketplace, and, you know, start using those platforms and start seeing them, because I think that, you know, censorship and I mean, Google tries to censor SEO people all the time. they try and say, well, you know, we don't want you to backlink, and we don't want you to do this, and we're in control of whether you rank for anything or not. And I don't know any SEO person who actually says, oh yeah, you're right, you can have total complete control over everything I do and say. And you know, it's like we find a way around. And I think you're going to see that there's going to be, as they've kind of spread out from just kind of controlling, you know, trying to control SEOs to try and control the wider society, I think you're really going to see that there's going to be a lot of movement, you know, outside, where people are going to go, well, no, I think that's a little bit too far.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's funny. I think me and Marco came across the article at the same time, but there's one about Tim Berners-Lee working on like a decentralized kind of protocol. I think it's called Solid through MIT. Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah,
but
just check it out afterwards. And it's an interesting idea, but it's that idea of saying, yeah, you know what, no matter what happens, you know, if this turns into a monopoly, which it quickly is, then that doesn't really benefit anyone. So it was meant to be decentralized in the first place. So I think, anyways, don't know if this is going to work, but something like that I think appeals to a lot of people. Yeah, and you know, you're already seeing movements. A lot of people are moving away from them as a search as their search engine when they're doing their own personal things. I mean, I haven't used Google as my search engine when I'm actually doing research for years. I mean, I've been using DuckDuckGo, and you know, you have places, alternatives to Twitter like Gab coming up, and there's several new video platforms coming up that, you know, now that YouTube is really kind of just really been stomping on people and that. So yeah, I'm just curious, what are some of the new YouTube that's showing how well ingrained it is? What are some of the new video platforms?
Well, Amazon Video's got to be one of them, right?
What's that?
Amazon Video has to be one of them, right?
Yeah, Amazon Video is a pretty good one. Although they also, I don't know, I kind of think that they also have that risk of becoming more of a bully in the future.
Well, they'll just take over what you're creating and create it themselves.
Yeah, just like they have like all the little online stores and that, people would find a little niche and they would sell something, and then Amazon goes, ooh, they're selling a lot of that, let's start our own. Yeah. And so, I mean, they've kind of done that, you know, kind of the same way Walmart has done that to the mom and pop stores, that, you know, Amazon is kind of doing that to the online stores. But the one that I discovered the other day that I actually thought was pretty good was called Real Video. So it's real.video, and that's not real.video.com. Just the video is the domain, the root domain. So
is that real like REEL or REAL?
REAL.
Okay.
And you know, it started by a guy who got deplatformed by Google, but you know, it's not a fully developed platform yet, but it seems pretty good for what he's already worked through. You have to get an invitation from him there. You know, you have to actually request to be on there, kind of like you did with Pinterest in the beginning. But you know, the player is really nice, and they've got, you know, kind of sharing capabilities and some other things. So I think that's someplace that really you should look into, particularly if you're running content that maybe Google's not going to like very much. So there's also BitChute is another one, although I think that one's kind of, you know, not that good yet.
Okay.
There's
BitChute,
also,
gotcha.
Yeah, BitChute, and I remember some of the other ones that I looked at. As far as like Facebook, there's a really interesting new social media place called, what is it called? Minds.com.
Interesting. I have not heard. Have you guys heard of this?
Yeah, I like Minds. I'm in Minds. It's over 100 million people right now.
Yeah, I should have known that, Marco.
It's new. It's basically over 100 million people. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're kind of integrated with like some of the blockchain payment methods and things like that, so that you can actually pay people for their content in a way that you can't really be tracked and can't really be blocked from making your payment. So, you know, there's a lot of interesting things that are going on where people are just kind of going, kind of had enough. So people are starting additional things. I mean, it's kind of like people never really thought that MySpace would ever die, but it did. And I think you're probably going to see a little bit more of that movement away from these big consolidated platforms.
Yeah, that's
but
an
I don't think
interesting.
it's going to happen anytime soon. I mean, I can see some of the shifting as well. Lisa, I agree with that. Some movement, especially with the Silicon Valley stuff, like what you mentioned. I mean, when Facebook and Twitter execs are being drug up on the Capitol Hill and questioned repeatedly for hours and hours and hours, you can rest assured that you can bet your ass that there's going to be some movements, right? Some changes made.
Yeah.
So I agree with that, but
I've even been shadow banned on Twitter. You know, it's like you go and you post something that's relatively innocuous, and you go and search for it. You can search for the exact text of the whole thing, and it never comes up in search. You know, so that's when you know you've been shadow banned, and they never tell you anything. They just want you to just assume that your message is getting out there, but they're not gonna. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think it's something that'll happen. You know, it's gonna. We as marketers are kind of on the cutting edge, of like what the shifting is, but I think the general population is a much slower to react.
That's
so
true.
I think we still have plenty of time to exploit what we can from the big
absolutely.
sites. So.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, you know, you got to kind of keep your heads up and be aware that people are starting to move around a bit.
Yep.
Gotcha. Well, in terms of what's going on right now, we touched on it a little bit. So if you've got some big stuff coming out in like a month, I don't want or expect you to spill the beans right now, but can you tell us, and if you can't, that's fine, but what it is that you're kind of working on there in a little bit more detail?
Well, right now, most of what I've been doing for about the last 6 to 7 weeks is really working hard on the upgrades to rankfeeder. And now I'm doing RSS Authority Sniper 3.0. So this is going to be considered a major release because it's going to have some really nice extra features in there. And that's mostly what I'm working on. And then I have some other plans for some other products after that either reimaginings or new ones. So, but that's most of what's like right there.
Good deal. Well, I know, like Bradley said, we'll definitely keep our ears open, or rather our email inboxes open for letting us know when you got that ready. Okay. That'd be awesome, because we got a lot of people who are really interested. And actually, we just had one comment here real quick. I just want to read it to you because this is pretty awesome. So Greg just said, "Hey, Lisa, nice to have Lisa here. She's one of the great people as far as support and products go. A big thank you." So,
well, thanks.
Anyways, that was a very nice comment
really
from
nice.
Greg. So. Yeah, I mean, it's good. We like, obviously we promote, products and services that we like and use. And yeah, definitely yours is up there, not in our minds only, but, everyone that we promoted it to has had a lot of good things to say. So
great.
I have, before we go, I have a question for Lisa, something that I've been going back and forth with other people. And it's more, on the coding side and how you see things. The thing is that I've been asking people whether they think that Google is broken, because as you know, they just write code on top of code on top of code on top of code. Now, what you just said, which just struck me as very interesting, is that you're doing a complete rewrite. And so would you agree or disagree that right now at that level, Google is broken?
I'm not sure that I would say that Google is broken, but I mean, you got to remember they have thousands and thousands of engineers on staff. So, I'm doing a total rewrite because I didn't like some of what was done by the people who wrote some of the code for me that I paid to write code for me. These are guys who are supposed to be professional, and they just, there's things in there that I've just never liked and just thought, that just really bothers me every time I'm in there, but to rewrite it would take so long. But no, I don't really think Google is broken so much as just, philosophically, they've kind of shifted out of you remember when their motto used to be, "Don't be evil." Well, they seem to have totally and completely forgotten about that. And I think that the code has really become more of a reflection of the fact that they have decided that they have some hatchets to grind, and and they really just kind of want to dominate the market, and they've decided that the market also means information and what people think, and
they want to control and manipulate information, which is what they do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's absolutely what they do.
Yep.
Well, good deal. Real quick, I just want to say, I know there's a little bit of a delay on this. If anyone's watching, if you have any specific questions for Lisa, please pop them in there. And then we're going to get into the Hump Day Hangout questions. Jay says, I like rankfeeder. Lisa would love to know if you have any new creative ways on how to use it.
Well, you know, like I said, new features are coming. New features are coming. You're going to like them.
So hold your breath is what you're saying. Hold your breath.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll definitely be asking her the same question here in what sounds like a month. So cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're really gonna like how you're gonna be able to get really specific with locations. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Lisa, thanks again. And you know, like I said, hang out if you want to. If you're busy and got to run, we understand. But we're gonna kind of switch over and we'll do some Hump Day Hangout questions.
All right. Well, I'll hang out for a little while.
All right. Sounds good.
Great.
Well, guys, I'm gonna grab the screen and we're gonna get right into it. Lisa, I emailed you the event page URL in case you want to check out the questions. So if you want to check out the event page URL, and I'm gonna grab the screen and get into it. Okay. Nexus Designs is up first. It says, hey, I have one question that's very important to me with the RSS feed output of a WordPress self-hosted website. Should we put out a summary for the full text option? That's up to you. Nexus Designs, it's entirely up to you. It's a personal preference. I don't think it's an issue to post the full text only because, well, for two reasons. Number one, we have the attribution link that is either provided by the plugin or you can code that into the IFTTT applet yourself. Either way, if you followed our training, you know that the attribution link is critically important if you're going to be syndicating the full text of the post. Number two is if you're using our standard syndication network setup, there's only 3 blog sites that we're syndicating to. So there's only 3 sites that get the full text post anyways, right? And so that's Blogger, WordPress, or Blogger, Tumblr, and WordPress. So it's not an issue. And so essentially, I always like to leave full text posts because, again, it's only being syndicated to really 3 sites that will republish the entire post anyways. And the key is to be using the internal link from within the post itself from your main blog to be linking to the pages or the landing pages that you're trying to rank. And so by publishing the full text of the post, that internal link from within the body, the post body of the blog post itself, will also be published on the blog sites, right? So Blogger, Tumblr, WordPress. So you get a little bit of additional links, in other words, built back to your original post and also to the page that you're promoting within the post. If that makes sense. However, if you want to just go summary, that's perfectly fine. You know, I prefer the full text method, but you can, or the full post method, but you can go with the summary method. Just know that you will lose a little bit of SEO value to your internal page that you're ultimately trying to promote. Because when you syndicate just the summary of the post, you will get a link back to the post itself, but you won't get any of the internal links that were within the post body, if that makes sense. Which is still fine because now you're funneling link juice or link equity back to that post, the original post anyways, which will contain the internal link up to the page that you're trying to promote. So again, it's 6 in one, half dozen in the other, really. I prefer the full text post because it looks less spammy on the blog sites. Think about it. Summary posts on blog sites, guys, look spammy because it's just usually, you know, a paragraph or a set number of characters, and then it's just a ... or a read more or whatever. And so in my opinion, on my branded blog syndication sites, which would be Blogger, Tumblr, WordPress, I want the full text post so that it doesn't look spammy. I want it to look nice, right? And so that's part of the reason why I like the full text post. But again, it's a personal preference. It's not going to hurt you either way. Anybody want to comment on that? Okay. Peter's up. He says, hey, can we connect done for you IFTTT to GMB RSS following the LLP posting system? Yes, you can, Peter. I may be doing an additional video, training video on, well, not maybe, at some point, probably after POFU Live, I'm going to be doing some updated training for local Lease Pro members. I'll probably just host a webinar, guys, and invite all the local Lease Pro members. And I'm going to be talking about some other stuff. I'm working on some other other methods right now to push the GMB maps listings into the 3-pack if they don't fall, if they don't appear in there initially from just the initial setup, which is really what the local lease pro method is all about. Finding those easy opportunities and securing them with little to no work. However, there are going to be some that you're going to attempt that aren't going to rank right away. And so there's going to, but don't abandon those. You can certainly get them to produce results or generate leads, but they're going to need a little bit of additional work. And so that's some of the stuff that I'm going to be covering in an updated or an update webinar. It will likely be in November before that's available though, guys, because, we've got a ton of other stuff we're working on at the moment. And I'm still testing some new methods too. I can tell you one thing, I'm really excited about Lease's product coming out, because I guarantee you Lease's product would work very, very well with this local lease pro method, since we're going to be able to use the RSS feeds from the GMB auto poster to connect with rankfeeder and create co-citation. I can see that being very, very powerful. So when Lease's product is ready, I will certainly look into that as part of the local lease pro method as well. Okay. Okay, next is up again. He says, edit, thinking in terms of duplicate content here. If I am thinking correctly, RSS output is the summary only when that's good against duplicate content. Okay, Nexus Designs, I'm going to stop you right there. Stop with the duplicate content stuff. Duplicate content is a myth on other sites, right? It's only a problem if it's on the same domain. If you're publishing the same article over and over again on the same domain, then it's a duplicate content issue that can create Panda penalties. But when it's republished on external domains, it's not a duplicate content issue. Okay, especially if you have a site, an attribution link, which points back to the original source. Okay, so again, guys, I don't mean to be hard on you, Nexus Designs, but that comes up all the time, and we cover this extensively in the training as well as in our frequently asked questions in our knowledge base at support.semanticmastery.com. All of that is covered because this question comes up a lot. Don't worry about duplicate content. If duplicate content were a thing on external domains, press releases wouldn't work. And we all know that press releases work incredibly well. So explain that, right? Okay, Chris. Chris says, support question from Judd. I saw there was a form where you can manage my IFTTT network. Also, I have 2 other companies that need SEO services. My request is, can I pay you to look at my IFTTT network? Here's the thing, Judd. If you bought it from us, sure, we'll take a look at it. If you bought it from someone else, to be honest with you, I'm not going to spend the time looking at it, and I don't think any of our builders or any on our team or support staff would, because if it wasn't built to our specifications, it's going to require more. It's basically should be canned and rebuilt anyways. Like start all over, start back to the drawing board, so to speak. So I don't know if you bought it from us and you're having issues, just contact support. Also, for other companies that need SEO services, no, we don't provide SEO services. We provide done-for-you services. However, you could always post your request in one of our groups that you're a member of and see if there are any takers that you could chat with about potentially providing SEO services for you.
Yeah, actually, in our mastermind, there are some people that have their own agencies. Mm-hmm. So if you're part of that, you can post there. And some mastermind students will actually pass on work from one to the next and to each other because of they're either swamped or that's not their style. There's something else that they're doing and whatnot. So that's a pretty cool community over there. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean even on the free group, Facebook group, you could still post, and there will be just be aware that we're not vouching for anybody that you communicate with. In the mastermind, that'd be a different story. But in any of our other groups, you have to vet those. Anybody that responds to your request, you have to vet them on your own. Okay, there's nothing that we can do to help you with that, and I apologize. But yeah, again, for IFTTT network stuff, if you management, Serpspace has a manager. It's a basic manager that basically monitors the networks to make sure that properties aren't down. It'll alert you if RSS feeds stop. Detecting new items, things like that. And that's over at serpspace.com. That's the network management. And so you can check that out too if you'd like. And again, that's just a very simple service. Management it's more of a monitoring service than a management service. It's beneficial when you've got a bunch of networks to maintain. Chris Hayes says, what kind of changes will happen to the IFTTT method once G+ shuts down? Can you guys make a video update? Yeah, of course we do. But I mean, it's just one channel that gets shut down. It's not really going to affect much at all. I mean, G Plus is being terminated. We see more evidence of that now than ever. Almost daily, we're seeing more and more evidence of that. I just saw an article posted recently in one of our groups about even more steps that Google is taking to remove or to completely shut down Google Plus. But it's only one property, Chris. Don't worry about it. It's one property out of what, 24? So it's not that big of an issue. I wouldn't sweat it too much. And will we create an update video? Yeah, sure. I mean, we do update webinars, although we're going to be probably shifting or changing how that's handled too. But anyways, in one of the upcoming update webinars, we will discuss that a little bit more. In fact, I'm going to make a note of that right now.
Yeah, while you're making a note, let me just say that there's plenty more Google properties that we can abuse.
Yes.
Besides Google Plus, which we do. If you're part of RYS Reloaded, you know just how many properties we go into and just totally hammer away at Google.
Yep. Okay, Peter says, hey again, when will you add citations lesson in LLP, Local Lease Pro? I'm hoping to add that today. If it's not done today, it'll be done tomorrow, Peter. It's just a quick lesson, very, very simple. I'm just going to point you to a resource that's affordable for monthly citation packages, which is what I recommend, but I'll create a quick video explaining it too. Okay, so it should be there today. If not today, it'll be there tomorrow for sure. Chris says, Richie Inman posted, we have a video powerhouse subscription and a network management subscription currently at Serpspace. Are those moving to mgyb.co? No, those are going to stay in Serpspace. Are we able to get an update as to what is going to be where? Well, I mean, pretty much just check out mgyb.co often, because we're adding more and more products. Again, 3 were just added to it today. Press releases. What else?
Quora and syndication networks.
And syndication networks. So that all I would recommend, Richie, is just go check MGYB often. But yeah, video powerhouse, maps powerhouse, network management or monitoring, that's all staying under Serpspace. Okay. Okay, next, KD says, hey guys, with Google Plus shutting down, is it still worth in the meantime to keep using rankfeeder for co-citation, or will this be wasted effort? Thanks. Well, Google Plus shutting down doesn't affect rankfeeder unless you were using Google Plus RSS feeds as part of rankfeeder. Does that make sense? And Lisa can talk about that too, but rankfeeder is about combining feeds together or adding multiple feeds to create a feed, which creates co-citation. And unless you were using Google Plus RSS feeds, which there are a few online services that you can generate a Google Plus feed or an RSS feed from Google Plus, then it shouldn't affect that at all, right? I mean, there's still plenty of other RSS options out there. And remember, with rankfeeder, if you're those of you that are familiar with it, you can also add sticky items, which aren't even RSS feeds. They're just single URLs. And you can add those as sticky items to blend in with the overall feed to create that additional co-citation. So again, Google Plus is just one of many different things that you could include into rankfeeder. Lisa, do you want to mention something about that?
Yeah, actually, if you were using some of the Google Plus feeds in some way, what happens when a feed disappears is that rankfeeder just starts ignoring it. And if it ignores it a certain number of times, like for a long period, then it will just be removed and but since you can go in and edit your feeds, they're not, one shot and you're stuck with whatever you put in there. You can also go and replace the missing Google Plus RSS feeds with other things.
There you go.
So you can completely update it, to keep them fresh and relevant with the same URLs that were generating power for you up till that point.
And KD, a couple of options, would be Google Plus, or Google Sites. Also, the GMB. If you're using Google My Business stuff, it's for local. If you're using our auto poster, which generates a RSS feed from the GMB posts, that's something else that you can include. There's a lot of nasty stuff that you can do with it. And so Google Plus, G Plus was just a one piece of many that go into that. So I wouldn't worry about it, guys. Google Plus is not that big of a deal that it's shutting down. That's the nature of the internet marketing world, right?
Yeah, I think it's really a relative nothing, in terms of it never really I know a lot of people hopped on there to try and get SEO benefits from it because, as we all know, that Google favors their own properties. But as far as being a real social network, I don't think it ever really caught fire and really caught on. And I think that's why they're dumping it. I'm kind of surprised they're didn't dump it sooner.
Yeah,
because it just didn't do that well.
It's interesting, but I remember all the way back in, I think, 2010, 11, when I started my career in, digital marketing, that Google Plus, I remember articles coming out all the time on, the big curated SEO sites like Search Engine Journal and, all those sites. And and also like Social Media Examiner and all that. All the time I remember articles coming out saying Google Plus is dead. Google's killing Google Plus, this and that. And for years, I've seen articles like that. And I used to laugh at it because for a while there, Google Plus was so integrated into all of Google's products. And it was really as part of the onset of the semantic web, when Google started to adopt semantic web technology. And I think they were using Google Plus as kind of a identity validator. Right? It was a way to associate a profile with an individual, like a Google account with an individual, and then that way it would attach that profile or identify that person as being real, because that Google Plus was now integrated with all of other Google's products. And I think it was a way to originally was to kind of reduce spam, believe it or not. And I didn't think that they were ever going to shut it down, but apparently after just being beaten to death in the social media world by all the other platforms for so many years, Google finally decided to remove it. And that's, they've been taking steps for the last year and a half, 2 years. I think it really started when they pulled Google Plus out of YouTube, when they disintegrated when they pulled Google Plus out of YouTube. Remember, guys, in order to have a YouTube channel, you have to have a Google Plus account. And I think when they separated those two is really the start of the demise of Google Plus. So anyways, that was a good question. Gordon says, hey guys, thank you very much again for your help on Hump Days. It's greatly appreciated. You're welcome, Gordon. He says, does a Google site created through GMB profile show up through the GMB profile, show up in organic search results, or is it only accessible? No, I'm not sure I understand, Gordon, what you're saying. You're saying is a Google site. Now, are you talking about sites.google.com or are you talking about GMB website? In either case, they're available and they're both indexable, which means they're publicly viewable to anybody, right? GMB websites as well as Google sites, sites.google.com, are both indexable, so anybody can see them. You don't have to be logged in through a profile to see them unless they're just not indexed yet. But just be patient. They'll index, provided you've got some content on there, and they'll be fine.
The business site indexes within an hour.
Yeah, the business site index is really quick. Yeah,
and it does rank.
Yep,
it ranks. There's things that you have to do to make it rank, which is taught in local GMB Pro, or you can just go and ask me in local GMB Pro how to get that website to show up and rank. But I mean, it does. It's a great asset.
I'm curious because I haven't worked on this project in months. Yeah, right there's Mario's. Excuse me. Right there's the business site for this was the case study I did for local GMB Pro, and that's the business site right there. That's the GMB website right there, guys, and it's ranked #2 for the brand search. See that? Yelp outranks the brand search. That's crazy. But there you go. Business site right there. So yes, it will rank. #2, for ranking purposes, does Google look differently at mobile responsive site and a standalone mobile specific site? And if you're targeting mobile searches only, can you rank a standalone mobile specific site without forwarding a desktop site? Yeah, you can. I don't know. Marco might know this, but does Google look at differently between mobile responsive and standalone mobile specific sites? I don't know. I know that a lot of responsive sites, like WordPress themes that are responsive WordPress themes, are coded really shitty. So they suck, and they're terrible for the mobile algorithm. Like a lot of them are. They might say that they're mobile friendly, but they're just coded really poorly. And again, I'm not a coder, so I don't understand any of that stuff. I just know that some of those mobile responsive WordPress themes suck in the mobile, the mobile first index. Like they don't perform well. So, in the past, I would create just an HTML landing page as a mobile and put it on an m.subdomain, and then use a redirect script, a PHP redirect script, to point any mobile browsers to the HTML mobile page. But I've even stopped doing that because honestly, I'm not even really building. I'm doing everything in GMB now, which is all GMB code, and so it's all mobile responsive and mobile friendly and everything else. I'm not even building WordPress sites at the moment. So, Marco, what can you say about that?
I'm with you. I haven't built a WordPress site in quite a while, and mobile responsive versus standalone. I would think that there would be no difference as long as the mobile responsive, you check it and make sure that it is actually mobile responsive and that it validates, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm sorry, but dude, we're doing everything inside the Google My Business
or Google. Period. I mean, even like
yeah,
sites.google.com. Those are mobile responsive now, especially the new ones. They look great too. So.
No, the classic were also responsive. All you had to do was tick a box.
Yeah.
While you were working on it to make it mobile friendly.
That's it. And guys, I'm not trying to discourage you from creating WordPress sites. I just honestly, I'm building my business completely within Google right now, just because they're free. Number one, number two, it's easy and fast. And as long as it's working, I'm going to do it. I can always go back to WordPress as needed, but WordPress, there's a lot of headaches that come along with working in WordPress, like all the stupid updates and hosting issues and all. It's just a lot of stuff that I'm so glad I'm not having to build a bunch of WordPress sites right now. It's been refreshing. Number 3 says, if it does not appear, it does not appear that Google's recent mobile first indexing change affects ranking. Can you please clarify? Gordon, it should. I mean, it really depends. What they're saying is the mobile, like they're basing desktop and laptop search results now off of the mobile index. So if unless you've got sites that just don't respond well at all for mobile, like for example, they're not mobile friendly, like the text is too small and you can't click on menu navigation links and that kind of stuff, then that kind of stuff can actually pull down your rankings down, because it's based upon the mobile first index, right? Or the mobile index first, essentially. But if you're using stuff that is responsive and it passes like that, there's even a tool that Google has for testing that, then you shouldn't really have an issue, right? I mean, at least that's what I found. What I found was really interesting is you said it doesn't change rankings. It doesn't change or affect ranking much. But what we've been finding, especially because of the GMB Pro stuff or the GMB stuff that we've been doing inside of Google My Business, is that we're really speaking directly to the mobile algorithm with like GMB posts and all the stuff that we're doing with proximity and geolocation, and all of that stuff is speaking directly to the mobile first algorithm, which is awesome because we're able to get results even if the ranking, and I'm using air quotes, doesn't show that we're ranking well. We're still able to generate clicks to the website and calls, generate leads essentially from stuff that the rank trackers are showing aren't ranking well. So explain that. Well, that's because we're tickling the mobile first index. That's what Marco calls the Google tickle, right? That's one of many that we have. But that's exactly what we're doing, is because we're using geolocation and proximity and all of that stuff to be able to serve our content directly to mobile searchers in the area when they're searching, where they're searching. And so again, that has to do with the mobile first index. Guys, this has opened up so much opportunity, in my opinion, since the end of July when this was really rolled out, and we've been reaping the benefits of these opportunities for the GMB Pro method and the local lease pro method now for the last couple of months, and it's awesome because as I've mentioned on previous Hump Day Hangouts, guys, I used to always just target my primary keywords for local stuff plus local modifiers. In other words, it would be whatever the service or product was plus the local modifier. That's always how I optimized for everything up until this summer. And now I'm optimizing for just the general product or service keywords. And I'm getting crazy results. I'm generating more leads now than ever because we're able to get those short tail search queries. We're able to get results and get traffic from those because we're talking directly to the mobile first algorithm. And people that are searching for mobile, typically, unless they're searching for a product or service outside of where they're located, like in another area that they're going to be going to, typically people, when they start to search for a product or service from a mobile device, they'll start typing their query, and then they're just going to hit whatever the suggested phrase pops up that Google suggests to them that's the closest to their original, to their intended query. And most of the time, Google is going to suggest without local modifiers. And so that's what they're tapping on now. And that's what our content is optimized for, those based upon, for those terms without the local modifier, because of where we're publishing the content is within close proximity to that searcher, right? So again, it's a little bit more advanced than what we typically cover on Hump Day Hangouts, but it works really, really well. And so if you're basing any of your tracking now on any desktop or laptop search result stuff, guys, stop it. Okay, stop it. Just be paying attention to mobile first, mobile stuff. That's why part of the reason I always talk about using Google AdWords, the Google Ads ad preview and diagnosis tool, because then you can go in and actually set a location within Google. You can specify a location and then do a search there, and you will see what the search results should look like to somebody in that specific location. You can't really do that with rank trackers anymore. Okay. So anyways, that was a good question, but go ahead.
Let me just add that we keep seeing a direct correlation between activity in the Google My Business listing through everything we do, right? Through local GMB Pro, everything that we teach inside local GMB Pro. There's a direct correlation with activity, and then even in organic, it brings up the organic rankings.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see you see it. You'll see the amount of keywords that you're ranking for blow up in Search Console, to the point where you're ranking for hundreds of keywords that you never thought would be attainable, and all of a sudden they're like right there. And you know, if you just look at organic, you would never know how that was done. But we know that we're doing all of the work in the Google My Business listing.
Yeah, and one of the other things I want to mention is, and we've kind of talked about this in some of our other groups, guys, but and I don't want to give out too much, but this is a nice little nugget. Guys, go into your GMB Insights. For those of you doing local, which again, it's most of you, go into GMB Insights and take a look at the search queries that have brought engagement to your listing, and then start and extract those search queries that are relevant, which most of them will. And by the way, you're going to see a lot of near me and near my location and stuff like that type of keywords right now. That's why it's all mobile stuff, guys. It's all mobile search stuff. And so if you extract those keywords that from the GMB Insights report that are relevant, then and start promoting those in GMB posts and content, then you'll start getting more and more traffic for those. It's crazy. It's like Google tells you which keywords are bringing you traffic, and then you promote those keywords, and it brings you so much more. It's crazy. It's just like Google's giving you the keys to the kingdom right now, guys. And again, I don't know how long it's going to last, but while it does, exploit it. Okay. Jordan, what's up, Jordan? He says, is anyone here an Amazon SEO guru? I am not. I don't think any of my partners are either. Needing help with a potential client, either white label or we'll give them to you for finder fee. And I don't want to learn that mess. I don't blame you, Jordan. It's not our wheelhouse, nor do I want it to be. Staying large, regional, and national focused. Hit me up, jordanfowler@moonandowl.com.
Isn't Jordan in the mastermind?
I'm sorry?
Isn't Jordan on the mastermind?
No, he's in Syndication Academy, but not the mastermind.
Okay. Well, I mean, on the Syndication Academy group, maybe you can find somebody.
Yeah. And I was going to ask Lisa if she had any any advice on e-commerce SEO or Amazon SEO.
Well, just make sure you're in a cart that is friendly to has friendly SEO URLs. Also, one thing that I found when I was doing my store, now I've sold my store several years ago to somebody else, and but one thing that I did find is that the RSS for products actually will help boost the products quite a bit. So if you have, make sure you get a cart that has the ability to have RSS feeds for product categories, and then go and submit those feeds to all kinds of different aggregators, you'll get quite a boost. I mean, it was really amazing what we found when I had a VA doing that for me.
And Jordan, looks like Greg might have also replied to your comment on the event page. So, I suggest also maybe reading through that. Greg's question is, hey, I purchased a monthly subscription, a press release service after your webinar 3 weeks ago. First 2 PRs went out last week. For each, I received a list of 100+ pickups. However, when searching in Google for the title or a sentence in quotes, only the PR services PR and Digital Journal show in Google. What is the best way to get all those other indexed, or just simply wait for Google to notice and index them over time? Greg, first of all, don't worry about it. Most of them are probably indexed. They're just in the supplemental index because that's the nature of press releases, because it's the same content, right? And so Google will take, and don't associate duplicate content penalties with what I'm talking about here, because that's not the case. But if a press release, which is republished word for word across hundreds of sites, Google will take those and many of them and put them in what's called the supplemental index. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean here to demonstrate. Okay. So right here, this is the press release title that I just had published for the project that I built out for the local lease pro training. Okay. So this was just published, well, just a few days ago. Anyways, you can see that I just did a search for the title, which is showing Digital Journal here, right? And so this was just published, I don't know, just a couple days ago. Anyways, you can see that that's the full title of it, right? And that's what's showing. Digital Journal is the only one that's indexed on this page. But if you look down at the bottom where it says, in order to show you the most relevant results, we have omitted some entries very similar to the 6 already displayed. Well, I don't see 6 displayed. I see 1. Unless they're talking about 5 images here, which they might be. Yeah, I guess they are, because the rest of those are ads. But if you take a look and click on the supplemental index, all of a sudden here it shows up. There's 5 of them that are showing as index. And oh, by the way, that's why this was just published 12 hours ago. That's why not all of them have even been indexed yet. So if we were to come back and search this again in another 24 hours, it's likely that there will be dozens and dozens of results. They're probably still going to be hidden behind the supplemental index. You have to click that link at the bottom to see all of them. But what happens is you end up with most of them. Now, again, don't worry about getting them indexed, Greg. You'll drive yourself absolutely crazy if every time you submit a press release, you go collect all the links from the report and then submit them to indexers. That's a lot of additional work. Don't worry about it. Those news sites get crawled often by Google. They will get indexed. And whether they show or they're put in the supplemental index, it doesn't matter. Google knows about them. Trust me. So don't worry about that, because you're just adding additional work. You're overcomplicating what you don't need to. Okay. And I'm not picking on you at all, Greg. I understand why you may worry about that, but we have a lot of people have asked us questions about syndication networks and the links not being indexed. But if you go in the search console and you look at links to your site, you'll see WordPress and Tumblr and Digo and, you know, all the sites within the syndication network do have backlinks pointed to the site, and Google knows about them. Whether they're indexed or not, it doesn't matter. Google knows about them and is giving you credit for them. We've even tested no index PBNs, guys, and it's worked. It's given us boosts. So again, don't worry about that. You'll drive yourself crazy, Greg. All right, we've only got about 5 more minutes, guys. I do have to leave pretty much on time today, so we're going to try to roll through just a couple more questions. Can we get a recorded webinar link from Monday from Marcus' webinar? Yeah, guys, it's coming. Everybody relax. It's coming. We promise you. The replay will be made available as soon as possible. Marco, when do we have an ETA on that?
But it's not only the replay. I'm putting everything together, right? I have to put together all of the training, the video that I did showing. Well, you know what it does from S3 to Cloudflare. I'm also giving them tutorials for Cloudflare and S3 buckets. I'm trying to put everything together. It doesn't help when I have people reaching out to me. The video was still, I think I told you guys, it was rendering, and people were already reaching out to me for the replay of the webinar, and it doesn't help, guys. It'll get done when it gets done, and as soon as it gets done, it'll be made available.
Scott, finally got a plumbing client on board for GMB account that was set up with your service. The account was sitting just outside the 3-pack when it was first verified. Now in the 3-pack with just a small amount of effort after week 1. Location population for a city of 125K. Thanks, guys. That's freaking awesome, Scott. I love that you posted that. That's amazing, guys. That's what I mean, it's crazy. Like even the site that I just was showing you guys the press release for, Mustang Tree Pros, like I just set that up last week, and 12 hours ago the press release was published, and I'm sitting in the number 4 position right now. If I do a localized search, like I said, using anyways, my point is, guys, it's sitting in position number 4, and I still haven't done citations to it yet. I haven't really done any GMB posts other than the original post that I did. So, I mean, all the stuff that I teach in Local Lease Pro, guys, hasn't even been applied to that yet. And I'm already in the number 4 position in maps. So think about that. So Scott is just validating what I've been talking about, guys. You do the research properly on the front end, and then you optimize the profile when you first set it up or get it back from us if you're using our service. Then, and you know, so far about 60% of the time for me, that's all it takes to get into the 3-pack. And in doing the other stuff that I'm doing right now, which is the GMB posts, press releases, and then monthly citations, I'm seeing like almost out of the remaining 40%, another 15 to 20% of those within the first 7 days get pushed into the 3-pack. And the remaining ones that aren't pushed into the 3-pack, it just requires a little more of the same, just more of the same. So more GMB posts, perhaps another press release, perhaps another month of citation building, something like that, right? And that's all it takes. And we're also working on some additional methods right now, guys, for pushing those listings that aren't popping into the 3-pack. Yeah, I'm working on some other methods too, and I'll update you guys on that probably in November. All right. Okay, guys, I guess I'm going to answer Jeff Sass's question, and then we're going to wrap it up because we're at the 5 o'clock mark, and I have to go, and I'm sure others do as well. Jeff says, question regarding RYS project done for a client through Serpspace. Is there any limit that you've seen with regards to links you can throw at it and not get penalized? Marco can answer that one, but we haven't seen a limit yet. Have we, Marco?
No limit.
Okay. Number 2, also, even though my client already has one RYS project produced, is there additional benefit to doing another and another? Or should we just be beating the shit out of the one that's already done? No, there is benefit, Jeff. It just depends. It really depends on what your setup is and your configuration, your site structure, all that kind of stuff. But Marco, what would you suggest?
I would suggest that if he's a member of our RYS Academy Reloaded, that he reaches out to me in there, because we did a webinar telling you exactly what you need to do with that one drive stack, and how to power it up to get even more power out of it, and just continue getting power out of that same stack.
There you go. And last thing he says, if you haven't pimped your research service yet, do so now. It rocks. I'm assuming he's talking about the keyword research service yet. Is that available? That's live in MGYB now, isn't it?
Keyword research? No, it's not live yet. We've done sales of it. I mean, we could try doing another one. Maybe next Hump Day for you guys attending live, we'll have a few keyword research projects available that you can take advantage of. But yeah, it's coming. It's just getting hooked up into the marketplace. Excuse me, the GMYB store.
Yep. Okay. I just saw Eddie said, thanks for that, Eddie. I'm not an SEO or a CEO, but the way Bradley teaches makes it easy to understand and great for newbies. He's talking about Local Lease Pro. What is the best way to bill or charge the business? I'm pretty sure that's covered in the training, Eddie, but I'll double check when I'm in there adding the citation lesson. And if it's not, then I'll make a note to add another lesson specifically about how to bill or charge the business. Honestly, I just use PayPal for that. But you know, you can get as creative with that as you want. Anyways, I'll make a note of that if it's not in there, and I'll add a lesson for it. Okay. So everybody, I want to thank you guys for being here. Lisa, thank you for sticking around even for the additional time.
It was awesome to be here.
Awesome, guys. And thanks everyone else. And we'll see you guys next week. And Lisa, please keep us in touch with us and let us know about the updates.
I will. I definitely will. I think you're going to love them.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.